What's going on, my people? It's your boy Nico T, the Credit Avenger. In today's video, we're going to be covering everything that I did to fix my credit, leverage my credit, and successfully fire my 9 to 5. Now, if you're watching this video, it's pretty obvious you want to quit your 9 to 5 as well. So we're going to be giving you all the game that you need to successfully do it, right? We're going to be covering everything that the gurus don't want you to know. No course, no trade lines, no CPNs, nothing crazy. This is all organic, all DIY, and if I can do it, you can do it. So make sure you watch until the end, because we got some stuff that we're going to be covering that the gurus don't want you to know. So stay tuned. Let's get it. So first and foremost, I worked at a tree care company, and what we did is we took the growth from the trees away from the power lines. Inches away from death every single day, at least within 2 inches of these power lines. And you guys know, I mean, a couple amps can kill you from electricity. So I was directly in the line of fire every single day, 70 feet up in the air, cutting trees down, doing everything that I didn't want to do. It was to the point where I would show up to work 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'll be late sometimes because I was at a job that I couldn't stand. And I would get anxiety, man. I won't lie to you. I would feel my heart pounding. I would get in a bad mood. And I really wasn't making a lot of money. I was getting about, I was fortunate. Thank God for it. I'm grateful for it. But I knew at the end of the day, $180 per day wasn't cutting it. I knew I was worth more than that. I just didn't know how I was going to get up out of it. And the other thing that sucked about this job is I was watching all of my peers elevate, right? I was watching them get new cars. I was watching them go on vacation. I was watching them buy homes. I was watching them get married. And we all made the same amount of money. And in my head, I'm like, man, like, what's so different about me than them? How come they can do all of this stuff, but I can't? I didn't really understand that credit played a big factor in what they were doing with their lives and their lifestyle. So I call it the dark cloud of bad credit. And if you feel like that's you, man, just drop a comment below and we'll see what we can do to help you. It doesn't have to last forever. So let's get right into it. I'm at this job, couldn't stand it, had bad credit. I got injured at the job. Like I told you, I was near inches away from death every single day. Fortunately, it wasn't a electric shock or anything that took me out of the game. It's actually I slipped and I busted my knee. So when I busted my knee, they put me on light duty because I literally could barely even get out of my car at work. So this is during pandemic times, COVID's going on, right? Everybody got to wear masks at work, which nobody was really happy about. So they made me work from the car. They made me like spot for the trucks from my personal vehicle. And I told them like this, listen, don't threaten me with a good time. I was more than happy to do that. So pretty much this is when I bought a laptop. And I'm researching every day, even at home, about credit. What is credit? Because the day that I checked it, it was a 430. Right? I didn't really know much about credit, but I did know that that was not good. So I'm working in the car, checking out credit repair videos, calling credit repair companies. We'll actually start there. I reached out to a bunch of credit repair companies. When I tell you a bunch, I mean over 10 companies that I hit up. And I just wasn't getting the energy, right? I wasn't getting the sense of urgency, right? I needed my credit fixed now. I needed to be your most important client. And I didn't realize at the time that there wasn't anything really out there that was providing those types of services that I needed. So, you know me, I'm an entrepreneur at heart before I even started the company. And I knew if I can do this for myself, I can do this for others and give them a sense of urgency and get their goals accomplished as soon as possible, as if they were doing it themselves. So that's pretty much what I did. Wasn't really feeling the companies, so I started fixing and researching it myself, right? The first thing that I stumbled across was how to get inquiries removed. And your inquiries account for 10% of your overall credit score, right? That's 55 points if you have over 3 inquiries in a 24-month time frame. Right? Now these things are weighted, right? When we say weighted in this industry, it means that they lose less impact over time. So let's say you got an inquiry that's been on your account for 2 years, and on the 20th month you get it removed. It's not going to be a drastic point increase. right? Because it lost impact, it lost weight. Same thing with late payments, but we'll get to that in a little while. So I started removing inquiries from my credit report by learning about permissible purpose, right? And with this day and age, everything's done electronically, right? There's no signatures, real time, like wet ink signatures for an inquiry, as in back in the day when there was, right? It's not how they track that stuff anymore. So when you're doing, let's say, Capital One inquiry and you get denied for this inquiry, they cannot prove that it was you that made this inquiry, and they need to be able to do that in order to validate that inquiry. So you pretty much just write them a letter saying that you never gave permissible purpose for anybody to run your credit with this account that you never obtained, right? So that's gem number one. Track that. The second thing that I learned about was personal information and how important your personal information is, guys. Your personal information, it may not affect your score per se, but it's going to definitely impact your lending decision, because it's like a cousin coming to you that wants to lend or wants to borrow $100,000 from you. But they live with their auntie one day, they live with their baby mother the next day, they're living with your cousin, they're living with, their kids, right? There's no way to really track them. Not only that, but now they got 10 different jobs. Which job do they work at? That's your personal information on your credit report. So you need to have one name, one address, one place of employment on your personal information side. And that's the second thing that I learned about. So going through this, the inquiries and the personal information section, somebody told me about this credit union called Navy Federal. And now you hear the name Navy Federal, you're thinking, oh, this must be for military only. And that's exactly what I thought, until the friend told me that no, that's not the case. All you need to do is know somebody who has a Navy Federal account, or if you have somebody in your family that's a military member, you don't even have to really know them, right? They don't have to be alive, right? It can be a great grandfather that passed away that was in World War II. Right? It can be your cousin that you haven't spoke to in a long time, right? Navy Federal is very flexible and they will make accommodations for you. But what I will tell you is, when you're calling in and you're letting them know that, it was your grandfather or some far gone family member, you're calling into a call center, right? Where there's hundreds of people working there. And guess what? Like me at the tree service company, I wasn't really there to do my job. I was just there to collect a check. So if you're not getting the energy reciprocated on the other end of the phone, you hang up and you call again. I see it work all the time. I have a bunch of followers on TikTok, speaking of which, make sure you go follow your boy on TikTok, that tell me daily. My grandfather worked in the service, and I let them know that. They didn't even ask me what branch he was in. They didn't even ask me his name. So it really comes down to who you get on the phone. Okay, so I found out about Navy Federal. I got in with Navy Federal. I got a checking account. I got a savings account. And within the first 24 hours, I was thirsty for a credit card. I went and I applied. And luckily, I did get approved for $1,000 on a cash rewards card. So pretty much, I used that to fund the business, and this is where the firing of the 9-to-5 starts, guys. So on my credit report, I had a bunch of late payments that were pretty old. I had some medical collections and things like that. It wasn't crazy. I didn't have the wildest credit profile in the world, right? My score was a 430, but that was because I did not have enough information on my credit report. Okay, it's all about data points, guys. Each item on your credit report is broken down into key factors, right? The account opening date, the last reporting date, right? That's all information. Your payment history, right? That's all what we consider data, and that's what makes your credit score. So everybody's so focused on their score that they forget about their report and how to take care of their report. Now, there's some ways that you can synthetically pump those numbers up, and that's by placing certain items on your credit report, and that is so very important. Okay, so before I applied for those Navy Federal cards, what I did was I reached out to a family member and had them put me down as an authorized user on some credit cards. Now, the funny thing about banks is they like to play monkey see, monkey do, right? And that's the importance of authorized users. The higher the credit limit that you get put on for an authorized user account is more likely what the bank is going to lend you, right? They're going to mirror exactly what it is that you have as an authorized user. And that's why credit repair operators like to have you put down trade lines and like to have you put down authorized users on your accounts. But you don't want to fill up your credit report with only authorized users and trade lines, because they're not what we call primary accounts. Now, the difference between a primary account and an authorized user account is exactly, it's right in the wording. A primary account belongs to you. So let's say somebody didn't have any credit at all, right? And they just filled their credit report up with authorized users and trade lines. And you try to go apply for a $100,000 loan, a home, a car, a credit card, whatever it is. The bank's going to look right at your profile and see all of these authorized users accounts. They're going to say, listen, Mr. Jackson, I mean, this person's credit's good, that is the owner of the account, but where's your credit at, right? You're still going to have a thin profile to them, and you're still going to look risky. So it's all about adding primaries to your account, which leads me to the next segment of the video. And that's going to be how to begin this relationship with Navy Federal. Okay, I didn't even do this when I first applied for my credit card. Like I told you, I opened the account, applied for a credit card, and got 1K, which is pennies compared to what Navy Federal gives you if you set up your profile the right way. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do upon opening your Navy Federal account is, one, checkings, savings account, right? You can get the Money Mutual account if you'd like. Next is going to be get a secured loan. Okay, the secured pledge loan is pretty dope because it's just like self-lender. Okay, so I know a lot of people love self-lender. You can click the link in my bio and get self-lender. You can click the link in my bio and go sign up for the Navy Federal secured card as well. My bio is going to be filled with all of the tools that you guys need to repair and build your credit. The secured, it's easy to get a credit card. It's very easy to get a credit card, right? We all know, 660, 680, 720 credit score, you can get a credit card with a little limit if you don't sauce it up properly. Nice, decent limit if you do sauce it up properly. But what the secured loan is going to do, it's going to put you in position to get a loan through Navy Federal. It's not easy to get a loan. It's easy to get a credit card. It's not so easy to get a personal loan. So what we do is we take the initiative and we set up what's called a savings secured pledge loan through Navy Federal. And Navy Federal is not the only bank that offers these types of accounts. Okay, so you're going to want to get a pledge loan through whoever offers it. The more the better, right? Because that's more banks that you'll be able to eventually get a loan through. Okay, so I know the minimum is $250 in your savings account, and how this works is Navy Federal takes that money from your savings account, they pull it out, they put a freeze on it, and they make you make installment payments towards that $250. And once the terms are met, boom, that money gets put right back into your savings account. So it's very, very important that you guys use this. I'll put the link in the bio so you guys can go ahead and get that. Go get self-lender and a bunch of other secured loan type of products. And one, it's gonna build a relationship with Navy Federal, because Navy Federal does have an internal scoring system, right? Now, let's pause on that really fast. So if I had my own internal scoring system and then there was an external scoring system, which scoring system am I going to be more geared towards using? Drop your answer below. Pause the chat, drop your answer below. But the correct answer is going to be my own, right? I don't trust their data. They're incorrect all the time, right? That's what credit repair is built off of. We leverage bad information and get it removed from your credit report. So if these three companies aren't reliable to give us good information, right, we're going to use our own internal scoring system to make financial judgments on our consumers or clients or union members. Okay, so that secured loan is going to boost up your internal score with Navy Federal. It's going to put you in position to get a loan from them down the road, and it's also going to boost your credit score and make your consumer report, aka your credit report, look fundable. Okay, great stuff. They're very flexible. It's not going to cost you a hard inquiry because it's your own money that you're securing. The next step with Navy Federal is going to be to get their secured credit card, okay, which you should see to the side of me, and the link's in the bio. You can also go sign up for that as well. What this is going to do, okay, it's going to add a primary account. So is that secured loan. These are going to be two primaries on your account. And we're going to tap into the credit sector of this really fast. So the more diverse your credit report is, the better. Okay, so they don't want to just see credit cards. They don't want to just see store cards. They don't want to just see revolving credit cards. They don't only want to see a home loan or only an auto loan. They want to see a mixture of it all. Okay, so the more information that we put on your credit report, the better, as long as it's attached to good, positive payment history. These banks, 35% of your credit score is dictated by your willingness and ability to make on-time payments. These are what they call in the industry positive consumer spending habits. And this is why they spend so much money on these credit reports, because banks are big on risk factor. Okay, so the more diverse your portfolio is, the more on-time payments that you have, the more fundable you are going to be. So it's very important to add these accounts that I'm telling you guys to add, even if you have bad credit. The secured products are a little bit more flexible than a unsecured product. And the difference between secured and unsecured is going to be when you provide money to these financial institutions, it's considered secure because they're not at any financial loss if you were to not pay it anymore. It becomes unsecure when they take money out of their vault and then issue it to you. So where was I? The secured card. Those are two accounts that are going to do great things for your report, and Navy Federal is very flexible with these secured products. And that's because, one, they make interest off of your money, okay? And it sucks. I know a lot of people don't like paying interest, but this is the cost of having a prolific credit report. Okay, this is what's going to get you the bag. I promise it. As you guys can see, we're getting the bag for my clients by following these same exact plays, and this is everything that I cover in my coaching calls. So the first thing that I did, like I said, I opened up the Navy Federal accounts and I applied for a credit card. I got $1,000, and man, let me tell you something. I thought I was going to throw up because this is the first time in my adult life that I actually received something from a bank. I just deemed myself unworthy, because my mom didn't have good credit, her mom didn't have good credit. I just always thought I would be paying out of pocket for things cold hard cash, which a lot of us were trained to do. Us in the inner city community, us, melanated folks, even, our lower class white brothers and sisters out there aren't taught these methods of relationship banking, credit, how to leverage your credit, and what to do with your money so you can become financial literate and financially free. So what I did is I took great advantage of it, and the first thing that I did was invested into a credit repair course. And pretty much everything that I learned in that course I'm covering with you guys right now for free. Like I said, if you guys want the ebook, everything that I use to fix my own credit is in that ebook, and it does come with a one-on-one coaching call, so don't be shy. Make sure you go click the link in the bio and set up your coaching call now. I'd love to talk to you face-to-face, one-on-one, and really get to know you. Invested in a course, and then I put it all into practice, right? We don't want to get analysis paralysis where you're just soaking in the information. I got to that point before I started repairing my credit where I was just consuming so much so I didn't even know where to start. It's like I was frozen, and that's where the term analysis paralysis comes from. So you're going to want to apply everything that I'm talking about. And no, you don't have to have a perfect credit score to go apply for these financial institutions that I'm speaking about. Like I told you, these secured products are very, very flexible and a little bit more easier to get than an unsecured product. And this is the start to me firing my 9-to-5. So I got these courses, and what I did was, like I told you, they made me sit in my car at work. I had a laptop already, so I would just tap in. I would watch lives about, people talking about living life abundantly. Shout out to Ash Cash in the Abundant community. I would watch his live every single day. If you guys don't follow Ash Cash on Instagram, make sure you do. That's, man, he really got me going on this road. Shout out to CJU as well. He's another one that got me going as well. And guys at work, they'd come up to me snooping around. They'd see my laptop out and they would ask me, yo, what you watching, a movie or something, bro? It must be nice. Nah, man, I'm out here learning. I'm out here getting educated. And I would tell them, I'm going to be out of here soon, guys. I'm telling you, once I get this, set in stone, I'm gone. Because I understood the power of credit and leveraging your credit. I knew a lot of people in my life that had good credit, right? But they don't know what to do with it. There's certain things that you can do with your credit in order to create passive streams of income. And that's all I was thinking about, is creating another stream of income. So yeah, I'm in the car at work. I'm learning about 609 letters. I'm learning about, method of validation letters, that they have to validate the debt. I'm learning about the FCRA. I'm learning about the FDCPA, and all about consumer law. The more that you guys educate yourself on these set of laws, the better your credit repair outcome will be. A lot of people do what's just called factual disputing, right? And that's when they just go through and compare the information. A lot of credit repair companies just go out there, spray and pray, right? Just send a letter out and hope things get removed. But when you know how to leverage the law, right, you're unbeatable. There's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing too big, nothing too small that you can't get removed from your credit report. So I'm rocking and rolling. I got the course rocking and rolling. I got the card that I'm paying off on time. And one thing I want to remind you guys, it's a little tricky in the beginning, but the 3 important dates on your credit card and most credit products are going to be your minimum payment due date, okay, which is a trap. All right, your minimum payment due date is a trap. I don't even want you thinking about the minimum payment due date. The one that I do want you to be familiar with is the statement closing date and then your statement reporting date. So the last 2 that I mentioned, we'll start with the second. That's going to be your statement closing date. Now, pause. Let's say I lent you $1,000, right? Gave you $1,000 loan, and I told you, hey, listen, Mr. Thompson, don't even worry about it. Only give me $25 this month. That's your minimum payment due date. And now me, Nico Financing Institution, I make money not off of lending you money. I make money off of lending you money and charging you interest, right? And the interest is calculated on, guess what? Your statement closing date, okay? So the less I charge you for the minimum payment due date, let's say you give me that $25. Now I get to tax you on that $975, right? So I'm not going to encourage my consumers to pay me all of the money before the statement closing date, because that's the day that I get to charge you interest. So I'm going to trick you and tell you only, hey, listen, only give me $25, okay? That's gem number 1 about that. Now the second part is going to be your statement reporting date, okay? So that's the day that they come by. The statement reporting date is going to be the day that they take that information, they send it off to the credit bureaus. And that's when you get judged on 30% of your credit score is dictated by how much credit you're using. So not only did they trap you on the interest charge by encouraging you to only give them $25, but now they're going to report that you're overextended on the credit card itself, right? They only gave me $25 towards $1,000. They're 80% maxed out on their credit card, which is going to drop your score dramatically. So if you had a perfect 850 credit score and you had a maxed out credit card at 100%, that can impact your credit up to 165 points. Okay, guys, that is the second biggest scoring factor when it comes to your credit score. The first being your payment history, which accounts for 35%. And that basically means if you had a perfect 850 credit score, you miss one late payment, your score could drop up to 192 points. All right. So your 3 most important dates for any credit card is going to be your minimum payment due date, which we do not want to worry about. It's going to be your statement closing date, which is the day the bank comes over and snoops around your account, sees how much you're spending, charges you interest. And then you have your statement reporting date, which is going to be the day they take that snapshot and send it off to the credit bureaus. Let's get back into the job. So I'm working, guys are coming up to me, ridiculing me, asking me if I'm watching movies. Absolutely not. I'm definitely not watching movies. I'm learning financial literacy. So I'm learning about all of this stuff that I'm mentioning to you now. Like I mentioned before, click the link in the bio. It's all there for you. So I learned how to get medical collections removed from my credit report. I learned how to get inquiries removed from my credit report. I learned how to get bankruptcies removed from other people's credit report, because I wasn't only working on mine, right, guys? And you know, I encourage any of my credit repair mentees is, while you're fixing your own credit, because that's how it starts. I mean, you're not going to really get somebody that has a perfect credit score in the credit repair industry. We all usually come from a bad credit background. So I started working on somebody else's credit, which is what I tell all of my mentees or anybody who purchases my ebook. Don't just fix your credit, fix somebody else's as well, because it's going to give you the confidence that you need to start your own stream of income. Right? Very, very important. If you could do it for somebody else, you could do it for the nation. And there's a lot of people in this country with bad credit. It could be one student loan, right? It could be one medical collection. It could be too many inquiries. These people need help because these people want to close on houses just like you and me. I started getting some pretty great results for myself, clients, co-workers, friends, and family members. And I was like, I think we're good now. So I used my credit to invest in mentorship. Mentorship is very important. Systems and processes are very important if you want to successfully fire your 9-to-5. So the first thing that I did, I told you I had a $1,000 credit card, is I took that credit card and I invested into mentorship immediately. Warren Buffett has a mentor. Okay, Elon Musk probably has a mentor. Jeff Bezos probably got a mentor. These guys aren't doing it on their own. They hire somebody old and able, right, with experience. I know there's a lot of mentors out there, but you're going to want to, do your research and vet these people out to make sure that they're a good fit for your company and for your growth. And that's what these people won't tell you, right? They're going to tell you to buy another course, buy another book, but you're going to need to find somebody that's doing what you want to be doing on the highest level possible and pay them people, because you're going to be able to now hold them accountable to take you to the next level. And it's so very important if you're trying to fire your 9-to-5 and never go back. I started my credit repair journey out with people who wanted to start a credit repair company, and guess what? Here I am doing credit repair full time, and they're back at their 9-to-5 doing the same exact thing that they were doing when I met them. And it's happened to me, right? I've had these thoughts, guys, where I'm like, oh man, I might have to go back to the 9-to-5 space, but my mentor wouldn't allow it to happen. He told me to believe in myself, keep doubling down. I also had a wise friend tell me, if you're trying to get from 3 figures a year to 4 figures, you're going to have to invest 3 figures. If you're trying to get from 5 figures from 4 figures, you're going to have to invest the 4. So it's constant spending and constant investing in yourself. And now, who the hell cares, right? If you've got credit, you need to be leveraging. That's what leveraging your credit is. You're leveraging your credit so you can get to a higher, high level of life. Right? You don't want to just start a business and then just have to slave for another 9-to-5 that you created for yourself. You're going to need to put systems and processes in place, daily procedures. You're going to need to hire people. You're going to need to invest in mentorship. You're going to need to invest in your education. I personally go to at least 2 credit seminars a year or financial seminars a year. The most recent one that I went to was CreditCon, and that was held in Las Vegas. I highly encourage you guys to go there if you're trying to start a credit repair company. It's ran by a gentleman named Matt Listro, and John Alzheimer's was there. The director of FICO was there. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian are usually in the building, and they're always giving the latest and greatest news in the credit repair industry, excuse me. So if you're interested in that, comment below, and I'll definitely lead you guys on how to get your own tickets to the next Credit Con. It's going to be coming up in April, and it's going to be in New Orleans. It's going to be a movie. Shout out to Matt Leastro, man. We love you. Thank you for all that you do. So yeah, you know, I was doing this on light duty for a good amount of time before I was able to finally jump out of the nest. But when I did, you know, it was scary. It was really scary. I'm walking away from guaranteed income. So not only was I leveraging my credit, guys, but I was also leveraging my hourly wage from this job. Okay. And that was a big help for sure, right? It was a super help. You need to be leveraging your job's dollar as well. Okay, so you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. That's what this game is all about. It's all about sacrificing today for a better tomorrow, so you can live a passive lifestyle. So yeah, guys, that pretty much sums up my video. We'll be doing a part 2. Drop any questions below. Drop any questions about Navy Federal below. Drop any questions about credit repair below. And listen, also, don't be afraid to book your one-on-one coaching call. I made it very affordable for you guys. We have the link right there, and whoever books a live coaching call will get an ebook, and whoever buys an ebook will get a live coaching call. We have 2 different styles. We have one that will give you 1 ebook, and then we have another coaching call where we're going to give you 3 ebooks. It's going to be my Look Who's Lending ebook, which is going to show you how to do what we like to call single bureau funding. And that's, let's say if you have your highest scores on an Experian, but your TransUnion and Equifax are trash. We're going to show you all of the lenders that pull from Experian exclusively, right? They're not going to pull from the other 2 guys. And this is how you can get, you know, 15 or 9 credit cards in one day. And that's by using what we call single bureau funding, right? We get 3 credit cards from Experian, 3 credit cards from the Equifax list, and then 3 credit cards from the TransUnion list. Okay, and as you guys can see that right over here, I'll drop some pictures of it. So you'll get that. You'll get my Navy Federal Secrets to High Limits ebook, which you can see right here. And then you'll also get my DIY or the new RIY credit repair ebook as well. So with the $50 call, you'll get 1 ebook, and with the $100 call, you will get 3. And we'll cover everything that you need to know during your coaching call. So if you would like credit repair, make sure you book that coaching call. We could do your consultation that way. If you want to do your credit on your own, book a coaching call. We can handle that. And if you want to sign up for my credit repair operators class, tap in, book that coaching call, and we'll get you signed up immediately. So it's a blessing to be here to share you guys my story. If you would have asked me years ago if I would be up here talking about credit and finances, I would have laughed in your face. But God has a very, very ironic way of working with us, and he usually has us doing the least what we expected ourselves to be doing. So tap in, y'all. It's Nico T, the Credit Avenger out of New Haven, Connecticut. We're servicing the nation, over 100 clients deep. We've gotten over $1 million through Navy Federal alone, right? We're not even talking about the mortgages. We're not even talking about cars. We're not even talking about Capital One, just through Navy Federal alone in funding. So if you guys need help, if you got perfect credit, right, tap in, book that coaching call, or get that credit card matchmaker as well if you have good credit. So, peace, love, abundance is your birthright. Don't be afraid. Double down on yourself, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Peace and love. Let's get it.